Hello there everybody, it is I, Big King Badger, and I am back looking at some more games I absolutely love, and this time we're looking at the 3DS. Let's get started. These games are in no particular order whatsoever, but are games that I absolutely love. So let's get it out of the way, let's knock it all out of the park with Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem Awakening. I absolutely love the Fire Emblem games. If you've never played them, they are essentially a turn-based strategy RPG. Sounds pretty grim, pretty boring, but the games do an absolutely phenomenal job of hyping it up, making it a little more spicy for you, and running through everything. So there are a lot of games in the series. You don't need to have played any of the other ones to understand what's going on, but it is absolutely phenomenal and amazing. Essentially, it has almost like a rock, paper, scissors element to it. So it could be that swords will beat axes, axes will beat lancers, and lancers will beat swords. And there are similar kind of things with magic as well. And there are lots of different units and things like that you can use, such as heavy infantry. There are Pegasus units, so units which are on flying horses. All the different styles of unit have their own movement speed, so how many squares, because each of the levels is broken down into a grid, so it may slow you down if, say, you're traveling through a forest area or something like that, whereas on a road or on grass you may move a little bit quicker. But it's a phenomenal one. Everyone should play it, and I strongly recommend you pick it up. I've picked Awakening as, for me, it's probably got the best overall story, gameplay, and everything, whereas the other ones tweak things a little bit and add different elements to it. But Fire Emblem Awakening, or just the Fire Emblem games in general, are games I absolutely recommend and stress you must play. So the next one I have, we're getting a little bit more musical, shall we say, today. It is Final Fantasy Theatrhythm Curtain Call. So this is the second game to come out for the 3DS in the Theatrhythm series, and essentially it is a music game where you tap or slide your stylus to the music. Sounds pretty standard and pretty generic, but what it does is it does a phenomenal job of combining the RPG of Final Fantasy with more of a music style game. The best thing as well that I absolutely love in the game is that on top of all the different game modes you have, such as a quest mode, which is essentially like an RPG style thing, or just playing the games as you want to, playing the songs naturally as you want to, there is always something to unlock, always something that you're working towards. So it has that really cool, almost Smash Brothers element of all the time you're unlocking things, there's different things to do, different things to look at, and oh, I absolutely love it. And it does a stellar job of taking a lot of the tracks from all the different Final Fantasy games from the series and spicing it up and checking them out. So from this, I forgot how absolutely amazing the Crystal Chronicles soundtrack was for the GameCube. And I have to admit, as much as I'm not a fan of Final Fantasy 13, the music's pretty solid, pretty good. So one to have a look at. What it does is it breaks down the songs into battle music, exploring music, and more of an FMV feel. And all the different ones have different backgrounds and different things to do and different styles. So you're never just tapping the screen. Really cool, really amazing one. Now, one which I want to say, to be honest, it sounds pretty obvious, but I think doesn't get as much love as some of its other counterparts, is Super Mario 3D Land. Now, for me, the reason why I've picked this game is because everyone absolutely loves new Super Mario Brothers, but I kind of prefer the 3D element to some of the other games that are out there, like this one. And this was the first one that made me actually go, ooh, what does that look like in 3D? And you know what? It does have some really cool, really amazing effects. So you get your standard Mario in 3D, which then was expanded on, and then when Super Mario World came out for the Nintendo Wii U. It was expanded and looked at further in that. So I'll not spend too much time on this. You've got your classic Mario. It's more of a 3D one rather than a 2D scrolling one. But always, I think, better than New Super Mario Brothers. But that's just me. I kind of prefer the 3D Mario games, as I say. But that's me. And as an old school gamer, the next one I have here is an absolutely phenomenal collection. So these games, I have to admit, yes, they are ports. I've tried to pick games which are unique and specific to that console that are not just ports, but this one I can't stress enough is phenomenal. So we've got Sega 3D Classics Collection, which includes games such as Sonic the Hedgehog, Altered Beast, Power Drift, Galaxy Force, and put them all on one cartridge. Now, the reason why I recommend this is, one, because again, they look really cool and they've taken their time. They've not just ported the games, they've actually gone in and amended them so you have all different emulation options, such as which version of the Mega Drive or Genesis if you're in America, which version of the console you're going to be playing it on, what different speeds, frame rates, visual things such as filters. It's absolutely phenomenal. The amount of work that has gone into these ports is absolutely insane. Now, there are other games that in this series that did get released, so all these games are available to download digitally, but this is a collection of some of them in physical format. Now, in Japan, there was the rest of the games. They did come out in a second collection. We've yet to grab those games over here, but I would absolutely love it if they did. I've got some of these games on over 5, 10. I've got all of them all over this place on different consoles, but for this I did have to buy it. So the original Sonic the Hedgehog, which is involved in this collection, one of my all-time favorite games, I've already got it downloaded. I've got this version for the 3DS, but I couldn't help but pick up this collection to pick up the other games because I absolutely know how much time and effort has gone into these. So, well worth your time, and please check it out and pick it up. Now, the last one on my list is actually a sequel to a game which came out for the PSP, but you know what? The 3DS version is pretty cool. So that game is Crush, or Crush 3D as it's called for the 3DS. So this game is a platforming style game where you need to get to the exit. Now, it sounds pretty simple and pretty cool, but this puzzle platformer stands apart because within the game, it is in 3D, but you can change and move the camera and essentially crush the game world into 2D. So if there is an absolutely massive chasm that you can't jump over in 3D, well, if you turn your camera just a certain way, crush the game down into 2D, well, actually, the chasm's pretty tiny because of how you've shifted the camera so that it looks like it's a smaller distance. It is a really cool, really mind-bending puzzle platformer, and one that I would recommend that you pick up. There is also Crush available for the PSP, and I would strongly urge you to pick that one up as well. But Crush 3D for myself, I kind of picked it up and played it more than the original one, and I would strongly recommend it. So Crush 3D, another one of those games I absolutely love and adore. Now, what are your games you absolutely love and adore that you think other people should be playing on? Please let me know. I really want to know what you think to the games I've picked, and I want to hear your games that you've picked as well. So, as always, leave some comments. I want to start chatting to you guys about the games. Please, get gaming. Pick up some of these games if you found that you think they may be a little bit more interesting. Check them out and let me know what you think. Thank you very much for that, guys. Enjoy the rest of your time playing games. And I am Big King Badger on Instagram and Twitter, everywhere. So give me a message and we can talk about games. I would absolutely love to do that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.